Jody, straight back to it. Another game tomorrow evening. Sutton awaits. What sort of test are you expecting there?
A difficult game. You don't make your way up the leagues and get out the previous league they was in without having a good home base. I don't live a million miles away from there as well, so I know quite a few that kind of fleet between there and other teams that are local. So yeah, as a home ground, obviously it's a difficult place to go. They've had decent cup runs in the past, sort of more famous ones. So yeah, it's going to be a difficult place, but like I said, as much as us going away from home is always difficult. I've been fully focused on what we're trying to do in the game and trying to improve on some of the areas where we need to get better in.
They're not on the best run of form themselves, a mid-table side, a bit like Doncaster were. Does that make it slightly more difficult to prepare when you are coming up against a side and you're not quite sure what you're going to get potentially?
Not so much. I think obviously there are certain sides that you may focus on areas where they're particularly strong in, or individuals that pose a threat. But I think where we're so new and quite early in our tenure that there's a lot of stuff that we need to be focusing on regarding ourselves, and particularly after I think at the weekend it was us that caused ourselves the problems with not doing things the right way, which led to them scoring their goals. So that's not to say that obviously we're not going to be focusing on individuals and the way that they play, but I feel that if the quickest way for us to get to where we want to be is just keep trying to improve in the areas that we need to, and hopefully that will be enough to get us a result.
And again, not a huge amount of time to prepare. The games are coming thick and fast. As part of the preparation, is it a case of looking back at Doncaster and then looking forward to Sutton? Is there a bit of a mix there, looking back at Saturday and what you can learn from, and hopefully taking that into Tuesday?
Yeah, so we was in yesterday and Sunday, and we had a debrief and a fairly lengthy video session with the lads. Obviously they're warming down, some had to work. But yeah, there was stuff that obviously I wanted to point out regarding some of the things we did well at the weekend, and also the areas that I feel we need to get better in. Obviously the goals are the easiest ones to address, and we touched on that, so it was good to get kind of the debrief done as far as Doncaster being sort of overdone with and finished. But there were elements there that we still need to take into each and every game that we need to improve on. So yeah, like I said, it's thick and fast, but that's just the nature of the game.
And I think obviously we know the players were disappointed obviously on Saturday, like yourself were. Has there been a case of trying to lift them, or are they still in buoyant mood ahead of Tuesday? I guess it's a quick turnaround to get going again.
Yeah, like I said, I made a point of not just talking about the things that I feel we can do better. I've made a point of showing them video on stuff that we've done really well. There was small aspects of our game that let us down and maybe interrupted our rhythm at times, but there were certainly positives that I wanted to show them yesterday, because it certainly wasn't all doom and gloom on Saturday. The fact that you come away with a 2-0 loss is clearly disappointing, but there was plenty that I was pleased with, particularly after watching it back. As I said, there's things that we need to improve on, and maybe the way in which we take on the messages, maybe not taking some of the things so literal and kind of just fully focusing on that and forgetting other things that we need to do in the game. But it certainly wasn't a video nasty, if you like. Yes, there were things that were negative and things that we need to improve on, but I certainly made a point of showing them some of the things that I was quite pleased with.
It's a terrible question, but obviously after 2 straight defeats, how important is it to get that win under your belt and really drive forward from there?
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously important. I mean, everybody would like to get their first win under their belt instantly when they come through the door, but there's been a few factors that hasn't really helped us, but not standing here looking for excuses. We've just got to make sure that we knuckle down and try and get that win quickly, because obviously there's the element of performance, but I also know that I think the quicker we get the performance side right, the quicker the results will be coming. And as I said, there wasn't a period in the second half that, well, the whole of the second half until the goal, I felt we was totally on top and starting to look like the team that I'd want us to look like, and we just got to make sure that we take care of things that maybe can happen, that can destroy our rhythm and obviously give us that sucker punch. So, listen, I know that we need a win, but as I said, as long as we can continue to do some of the things that I was pleased with on Saturday, I think we'll give ourselves the best chance to get that first win.
And players coming back from injury and suspension as well over the next week or so, that must be a huge boost as well, knowing you've got those key players to come in as well.
Yeah, well, obviously missing someone of the likes of Khan in midfield, who even before I took the job was someone that stood out for me, has been an integral part of the group. Missing him has been huge, and then obviously we're still waiting on injuries and suspensions and all that to come back with some other pivotal players that would more than likely be pushing for a starting place in the 11. So when you're missing one, I think it's big when they're pivotal to how you want to play, and then if you're missing kind of 3, maybe 4 of those that can maybe enhance the team, it's going to be difficult, but it's just a problem that we have to deal with in football.